Darragh O'Brien.
Firstly, can I thank and commend Sinn Féin and Deputy Adams and his colleagues for actually tabling this motion here this evening, and I think and for his party's acceptance of the amendment, which I believe is just an addition to that motion and will strengthen it. And I think this further shows actually that working together on this issue, Minister, and I would actually ask you and the government to reflect and withdraw your counter amendment, because it won't have any effect. I think it's the Dáil in the new political arrangement speaking with one voice, and it's at times like this where you reflect of how far we've come since the Good Friday Agreement, and I haven't had an opportunity as Foreign Affairs and Trade spokesperson for the party to wish Martin McGuinness all the very best in his retirement, and also to wish him the very best and a speedy recovery, and to acknowledge the work that he and indeed Deputy Adams with others across in the south here, in my own party and all other parties did to secure the Good Friday Agreement. So fundamentally that is our starting point. The Good Friday Agreement is our red line. And any dilution of the Good Friday Agreement, be that on the human rights side, where the British Government are moving towards diluting the human rights dimensions of the Good Friday Agreement, be that in diluting or strengthening the border. And I put it to you, Minister, and I'm rather disappointed this evening to effectively hear you, if I heard you correctly, actually dismissing the special status argument. North of Ireland should have special status, and actually your government previously had indicated that was something that you'd support. Unfortunately, though, because the British Secretary for State, James Brokenshire, on behalf of the British government in London, dismissed special status, the Irish government has simply followed and said, well, we can't attain special status either. You cannot give up that fight, and nor should you, and I think by the passing of this agreed motion will actually show the Dáil speaking with one voice on this, that then should become government policy. Because we are the ones who are elected by the people here in the Republic of Ireland, and the people in the north, and I've spent a lot of time in the north over the last year in particular. We've been engaging with groups here as a party as well. Yesterday, as Deputy Donnelly, my colleague, mentioned as well, we'd met other groups. And they are looking for leadership here. They're looking to Dublin as well. They're looking to the Dáil here to advocate for them and to fight for the hundreds of thousands of citizens in the north of Ireland who have Irish citizenship, to ensure that their rights are protected, their rights as European citizens. Their citizenship is as equal as my citizenship, whether I'm born in Dublin or whether I'm born in Belfast. And that's something that I don't see our government and, frankly, you fighting for, Minister. And I do not see that happening. And that is why, in our amendment, that we firmly believe that there needs to be a Brexit minister. It needs to be coordinated amongst government. That's not to in any way do down the work that you're trying to do, but when too many people are in charge, no one is in charge, and too many things are falling into the cracks. And I would say this to you: by having a common focus on this through a Brexit ministry, and by actually recognising as a government that the North should have special status within the European Union, that gives us our starting point. And if you're going to enter into negotiations, and what concerns me greatly is if our Taoiseach is going out and meeting people in his bilaterals, and it's not even talking about insisting on a special status for the North as a starting point, that in itself is a worry. And I put it to you that we need to do a lot more, because it was shown what was possible on the island of Ireland by the passing of the Good Friday Agreement, by the ending of terrorism and the troubles on this island, and by the normalisation of relationships between Britain and Ireland. It was shown what was possible. Brexit is the biggest single threat that we have faced, and the biggest negotiations that we will have since the Good Friday Agreement. And our government actually need to realise actually how crucially important it is for us, for the future of Europe. But let's be selfish about Ireland for a change on this as well. Let's actually try to look after Ireland. And finally, I conclude in the last 20 seconds I have. I've consistently said to you, Minister, that over the past 5-6 years that this government's approach to the all-island bodies and the all-Ireland bodies under the Good Friday Agreement and the British government has been worse than laissez-faire. We have not used those mechanisms to their potential. And this is an opportunity now to redouble our efforts and to actually make sure the institutions that the people of Ireland in all 32 counties voted for in 1998 are actually used to their full potential.